Okay, we are live now. Let's see what we can. First of all, I want to see what I actually alerted this morning. Let's look at the chart first. So I hope you guys can all hear me. So, so first of all, that's 1 hour. So 1 day, and this is 2 minutes. I don't know if you guys know. If you watch my previous live charts, then you will know. I basically started the daily on it every morning. So this is I will put it the daily, and then IXIC daily for the angle, and also I will have a Dow index, which is this one, as a daily as well. Um, I don't much care about the Dow how it is moving, but I mostly care about the NQ if I want to trade the SPX, right? And then I will also have lower time frame here, which is 2 minutes. I mean, initially start with 2 hours just to get the feel where the trend lands and everything. So I always try to redraw everything in the morning because it will give me a thought, fresh thought on the look of the thing. Okay, so when I saw this one, initially it opened near its prior sessions. I mean, not very near, but uh, somewhat near to the prior sessions opening price, right? Which is actually close to minus 30 points, I believe, or 15 points. I think maybe 10 points. And then it went down all the way. So if we look at this in the 2 minute chart, it went all the way, keep going down. So this is how it opened, right? It opened, gap down. It didn't try to recover at all. It simply dropped first 2 minutes and then another 2 minutes and then tried to recover a little bit, but it rejected and then went back. So as soon as I see this rejection and then went back, then I actually added my first zone somewhere here. Normally I will take one candle first to see, right? But since that has no wick, I will look for the candle that has a wick, which is this red candle. So that is my zone, right? So this is when I will be looking for the trades to downside, because as soon as I see the big rejection here after it came once, right? So uh, that is a confirmation that it might actually go. But again, at the same time, I will also look back to the left side to see if there is any strong support. So if I look at this side, see here, there's a strong support here. Right? In the morning when it is dropping, it did not reach there. So that's what I put it. Right? There's a strong support. So there's a chance that this one might actually drop all the way to that one, right? So that's what I was watching for. So whenever I am seeing this or this, then I'm basically looking for the puts, right? So today I think I alerted most of them as credit spreads. So let's look at the orders real quick. Let me open. If you guys know where I actually alert, I normally alert in daily, intraday. Sorry, I cannot see entirely because another screen is covering up. So I alert basically on my daily video, which is actually market, which is actually intraday market. Okay, for 24. This is the video, right? And this is the link for the next one. I mean prior one. Okay, so when I'm looking at this one, so if you look at in the order, right? So I will try to keep it in order whenever actually, and I also try to have one trade at a time active, right? To manage risk, and also if I'm having multiple orders, one thing is like I might be already wrong if it is losing, right? And then secondly, it's hard to manage, particularly losing, right? Your emotions goes very high, right? So okay, so in the morning, so I basically started looking at the call spread for credits. So the first one is I fill it 1020. I believe this is 40 and 60, 76, 40, 76, 60 call. If you look at the prices here, when the price was here, so 60 and 40 somewhere here, right? So in the anticipation that this one will go down, so I'm assuming that when I'm entering this in the money, then they actually reduce the price in reduce basically, right? That's where I'm actually entering, right? So the first one I entered, and then I will try to look for just a dollar, sometimes even 60 cents or 80 cents in the contract, right? Because I want to just uh, take uh, the drop and then fill it up, right? So yeah, basically I exited at 940 on this order, right? And then after a few minutes, then I look for another one, which I believe is the same. Uh, yeah, so same entry, but this time I entered 1080, I believe, right? Looks like I moved that one to 10 for exit afterwards, right? And this one also took maybe less than 5 minutes, and then wait, and then later I was looking for the. I was waiting on the triangular formation that is happening at the moment around. I believe around, yeah, maybe it's around. There's no triangle formation here. Maybe I believe it's here in this area. But yeah, once it got rejected, I will keep looking for orders, right? So every time that is actually anticipated to go down, then I look at the call side, and then every time when I'm actually anticipating to go up, particularly this strong move, when I see this strong move, then rejection came in. But when I think when it come to here, I actually took a put spread. It's put credit spreads, but ended up waiting too long. But eventually it worked fine, simply because there's a couple of things that actually helped me to stay in the trade. One is if I look at this one hour chart. So if you look at one hour chart here, see that one. So I was thinking this first 1 hour and the next 1 hour will actually go down, but with the strong move, they actually went up. So that's when I thought, well, this one is actually going upwards rather than going downwards. So that's when I was in the puts here, and then the second hourly candle actually moved upwards. Right, you will find this one as one of the pattern in my book, three candle edge in Amazon, right? So with that, and then let's switch it back to smaller time frames. Then I see after the push came, and then I immediately got the feel like I always put the exits right away with $1 or $2. I think this time I took a little long. Um, because of the strength, I actually waited for longer. Feel like I believe it's $2.60 or something like that. I will review all the orders, how much is the entry and how much is the exit afterwards, right? But that's how I actually played. And now we are actually coming up into the new entry, right? But if you look at here on the hourly, I always want the confirmation hourly, right? So if you will notice here, previous hour was green, and then this hour is actually retracement, and then we have to wait for this 1 hour to close, right? I'm basically looking for if this one is actually closing in like this format right now. Currently, we are seeing right in the next 21 minutes, and then I'm assuming. I'm anticipating the next candle would be a green candle going this direction, right? That's what my anticipation. But let's drill down to the smaller time frames and then how it is actually already. But if you look at this one, this is other way, right? So I mean, if this 21 minutes, which is actually about to finish, right? And then if that is closing like this area, then that would be a red candle downwards, right? So we have mixed signals basically, right? On smaller time frames downward, but higher time frames upwards. Then look at the 2 hours candle. So 2 hours candle is basically looking like a they're basically flattening, right? Side by side candles, right? So yeah, I mean this 2 hours also showing the confirmation of going down, because when you see red and then green and the next one normally will be red, right? So let's see how that works. So we basically first waiting for this one to finish, which is 20 minutes before taking another trade. So while we wait, let's review the orders that I took on my test account. Okay, so this is, let's look at the orders. I will try to go in the order that I actually got filled and then executed. So first, let's look at this one. Ah, yeah, that's always. I only have 1 hour, so I will quickly review this one and then end the call. I have another meeting to attend afterwards. Okay. All right. Uh, let's see if I can actually manage this one. But the symbol, okay. They don't have a timestamp. Let's see if they actually put a timestamp here. That might actually help. But there is no timestamp here. If you guys know, let me know if I can actually add a timestamp. Create or exit, entry or exit. Oh yeah, it's here. So I'm sorry there. Let's see. I want to see the. Okay, so this is from the morning, which is 9:04 CST or 10:04. So I basically waited almost an hour before I take the first trade, I believe. Well, anyway. Okay, so the first one is a 10:20 entry and then 9:40 exit, which is actually 40 and 60, right? So that's basically about that's 40 plus 80, 120, right? So that's 240 profit there. And then I went ahead and then took another one for 1080 credit spread, and then that also exited at 10, and they are the same actually, right? And then later I actually have puts. This is where I actually identified there's a strong move upward came after the 1 hour or within 1 hour, like a second hour kind of, and that's when I actually took this one and 1180. And then if you guys can see, that's almost 80 plus 60, 140, right? That's 140 times 2. And then I took another I think this time I actually made a mistake. I took too early, 1280 towards support, and then it was avoided and then keep dropping. Price was keep dropping, and then that's when I actually added another two at 1480, and then I slowly started exiting. One at 1120 I exited, and then another one at 1060. These two happened when there was a price movement happened real quick, real fast. I believe that's 11:14 time. So 11:14 time. If I look at this one in 2 minutes chart, so this is where it happened. See how fast the move was. So quick actually. So normally there will be rejection from here, but that did not happen. This the candle actually pushed super quick, and then that's where I thought, okay, it will be going upwards. It is to up to the gap, which is this was a gap initially. So that is the gap initially, right? So I actually mark gap as well as the rejections multiple, so that I will be watching all of them, right? So that from the week, just to separate those, just put in different colors. Yeah, so that's what I was looking for. So I was thinking this pattern will actually going to go to the gap, right? That's what happened, and then now once it's mid of the gap, then it started falling, right? Again, now it's actually rejecting once it actually come to the gap. You see that? So this is a pain always we go through, right? As soon as we hit one pattern and then we look at the daily candles here and okay, oh yeah, this might go up here, up to the party, right? And then or up to the week. That's when we keep taking the calls and then waiting. And most of all, when you are taking the calls to the other side for the cheaper cost, you might be entering out of the money if you are entering too deep out of the money, then you basically waiting for too long to develop the uh, pattern, right? So this might eventually can end up just like what we are seeing here, right? Or it could go, but your aim is basically to enter and exit while it was keep moving in your direction, right? Always try to exit when there's a strong movement in your direction, so that way your fill will come. And then even if you're putting your fill as a bid price or mid price, it's easier to get fill, right? Don't look for the ask price. You will be looking for the bid price or even lower than the bid price when you're entering, but when you're exiting it should be faster, right? Entering is slower when the exiting is faster. Okay, that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? And then once time passes, I will move this one to SPX as well, because I want to see multiple time frames for SPX. So I will put this one into 5 minutes so that I know how that one is moving, and then I will have 2 minutes on one, and then I will have the higher time frames that as and when they're happening, right? So that's one higher time frame. I was at the 15, I was looking here, and then I was in 13, then like that, right? Basically moving. So we still have 14 minutes, and then still just keep dancing between. So but eventually this one want to hold here in this area, right? So I will be looking for multiple formations here. If this one hour candle finishes as a hammer, like a small tiny candle, then we have risk of going down, right? And then if it is actually going upwards and then finishing as a green candle, also there's a possibility this might actually go red next one, right? But if it is like a red, I I will be happy if it actually goes as a red like this one, but still within the first half from here to here, right? So that there is a higher chance that this one will actually move upwards, at least up to the zero flat line first, right? Before rejecting. Normally they get rejected as soon as they come to the flat lines, which is 13 points, right? Once you reach 13 points upward, it might actually drop again, right? So if you are in the trade, as soon as you are approaching that one, you should be exiting, right? Even if you are at 5 points. I think so far it only went up to this far, which is about less minus 5 points, right? Because that's where it is. So yeah, so that's how I actually traded. And I think basically I traded all of them outputs because of the action there. And these two, like I said, 1480 and then exit 1180, and then 1280 entry and exit 1040 exit. And then this one, 1120 entry and exit at 1060. And then I had another one at 1060. I believe that's not the one. Okay. Yeah, 1060. No, the 1380, and then I had another one. I believe 1120. Then I added more. Sorry, 1420, and then I added another one at 1380. So I exited 1121. I think they are different time frames, and then I exited 1060. This is actually has a good push, so I that's why I'm able to exit almost 60 plus 160 and then 80, 240. Right, 240 times 2, 480. Right, and this one is also good, which is actually almost $3. Right. So yeah. When you are, I mean, credit spreads works even if they are not moving much, but if you are actually in the direction that is actually happening, opposite direction of that is happening, the move, then it's faster to exit. These all of them are actually exited within less than 10 minutes, I would say. So here, okay, that's 1208. Yeah, about 15 minutes. Yeah, about 15 minutes. Only I think the first initial report was it took longer, almost half an hour, because it was dropping and then slowly developed afterwards. But anyway, so that's how I actually trade. I try to. I think Thursday I tried to trade on the directional, which is actually the wrong thing to do, because most of the time we basically lose directional trades. So the best way is actually trade credits and then get good fees on those. Right? All right, so where we are. So right now, what is, oh, it dropped real quick, real fast, 34 points. What just happened? While we watch. Ooh. Luckily, I do not have any trades. Yeah, there you go. Oh no, 15. So what I was watching the other side. Maybe this is not up to date, updated correctly. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, yeah, I will be watching these ones, this chart, because this is the real-time data. Because I have real-time data on the uh, trade view. So, and I have a plan that allows me to have 4 windows. That's why I always switch back and forth on these. Okay, so far it's forming, so it is rejected, and then it doesn't want to go upwards anymore. Since when I add up all these profits on this one, I was already about 1600 plus, so I was in a good standing. I don't really need to take a trade, but if I take, I would be taking the call side, call credit spreads. But again, you still be watching for the levels as they approach to the levels. You always look for the latest points and then connect those. That's what I will do. I think it's basically given enough room for calls to enter, and then as soon as the calls are entered, and then basically it took the turn back, and then give them one more time of what do you call hope. And then once it creates hope, there will be more calls entered, and then that builds up the momentum downwards, because marketers need liquidity, right? They need a lot of orders to get filled for them, so that's what they do, like these actions. So as soon as they get the direction and as well as orders filled, they will take their time to drop it. That's what is happening. So there will be another drop here, and if you look at here, this is no longer a positive direction. It's actually going bearish direction, right? And you still have 7 minutes. This might as well go up into negative direction. So we can actually take one more, because there is a possibility. In fact, here, since we are already off there, we can actually take a directional trade directly here. So it's a single, and I'm going to look for one here. Um, yeah, I'll take this one just to get the feel of it, how they're moving. I mean, to give the feel of how they are actually doesn't appreciate in price. So I will be waiting here to see if there is any move upwards before it's actually filling for us. But this is already going to fill. See how fast they move when they move. Okay, this is my own. I ended up putting one order, and then I forgot to cancel, and then this one actually got filled, which is 1480, and then now I'm actually losing another one. I totally forgot about canceling it. But anyway, so we are about to reach to this fill, got fill. Now I'm going to close that one. If I could close the position, right? So let's look at this one. Since we entered at 550, I will look for $6. It's very difficult to even to get $6, but you saw that one went to 640 real quick. So I'll just look for 620 first, and then see if it gets full. Okay, there's a drop coming. Not this one, but if you look at 1 minute, it's actually going upwards. I should have waited. Before I get it. Alright. Yeah, so look at that one. The 2 minutes still have time to drop, and then the 5 minutes did not finish. So there's still some spare, some time to fall, and then there is a possibility that they can actually fall up to here at least. I always look for the spinners in between two candles. That's where the fall I'm looking for. So let's look at here. And then I always wait for this one come to my price, and sometimes I will actually force it to exit. Looks like it's already filled. Uh, yeah, I should be looking at the work. Yeah, it's already filled. I might eventually hold this one for a loss if this continues downwards. Okay, so now let's wait for 5 more minutes. When the 1 hour candle finishes, then look for another trade. So because if you look at this chart here, uh, see this is 1 hour, but if you look at the close here, this is basically a, I mean, you can form all pattern time and variety of patterns, right? Normally that's what I anticipate based on my key candle edge, at least for a while, right? So yeah, we'll see. So we have 5 more minutes. Um, since there's a wick underneath, so it is possible they might actually continue on the 1 hour charts. So let's wait and see. Yes, it is actually rejecting that 76, 70 area. That's becoming a strong rejection, which is basically the main close to the opening price. And will it go all the way there? I doubt it. I only get the last minute might actually go. Okay, so now let's look at this 5 minutes. And I can even drill down this one to smaller time frame to see how this one price actually happening. Okay, let's take one put credit spread. I don't want to take the straight put, straight calls because it's still falling. So I will go with the credit. Maybe I should actually wait for 3 more minutes. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see. Let me put this one at the bigger screen. Okay. I will also have another screen which actually contain this information here. So I'll be watching Dow because Dow will not be on my screen any longer. So I'll be watching this one. Pre-market, this will be 10 minutes delay, but sometimes 40 minutes delay also in pre-market overnight. But now they will be delayed by 1 minute, I believe. If it is not updated, I just click this one to get the updated numbers right away. Right. And when as soon as you see the delay, that means there is some numbers not matching with the screen. So I'll just look for this side. And, they are correct. This is because this is the correct numbers. Live data. So yeah, that's the first rejection on there. I mean, I don't want to look for teeny directions here. I want to look for the bigger directions based on the higher time frames. All this one. There's 1 minute left on 30 minutes, right? So yeah, if this one closes like this, then I expect the next 30 minutes will be upwards. But I don't want to see. I mean, this is like a doji right now, almost the same size wicks. But if it is actually a smaller body, then there's higher chance that this one will go upwards. Sometimes, I mean, NQ at one point it was almost 260 points down, I believe. So it came halfway already. But I mean, for NQ, it takes just 2 candles to push all that many points, or it can also go down that many points. Right? And this is only dropped it twice, so there's still a chance that this can come back here. Right? As everybody is expecting to go up, but this one just takes time to go down also. Then 1 minute we are about to finish. That is basically going a flat line. So if this one is closest within the body of the one, and if there is a chance, the next one will be green as well. But you see the red is stronger than the green. So the remainder body of the previous candles, which is this area, and actually has to clean first before it's going up. Okay, we open here. Let's see how those acts in the next couple of minutes to see if we can enter the trade or not to the put credit spread. Okay, it's still going. Uh, if I don't want to take too much risk, I still can go with the but far away ones with for low cost. But 1 minute is still retracing it back. See, even though chart is actually looks like live data, this is not a live data. See here, -35. But if you look at the match here, and this one, they both are matching. So I always look at this one rather than looking at that one. Okay, it was basically a ping pong between 17 and 50. So it made, if there's a strong push towards close, then this might actually close at 70, between 70 and 80. And if there's a good push, then it might actually close near around 7700, but I doubt it. And because it is too early to go that direction. Let's see. I'm just waiting for a few more minutes. So I'll switch this one to when I'm only one screen. I'll switch this one to 5. Okay, 5 minutes actually looking upward direction. Whenever you see big and small, right, then it might go upwards. And look at this level. And we are already at the middle of the day, so it might actually eventually come back to the this direction. So I'm still afraid to take a call side, even though the structure shows a call side move. Okay, let's look at this one. Yeah, yeah, this might want to go a little bit upwards first. Okay, let me take one credit spread and then if we can make some sort of it for the since we are so close, I don't want to go against the market, so I will go with 1 day forward, 25th, and then I will look for the. Okay, so I think we are at 55, so I will look for 40, and then so this is I need to go for vertical, and then I'm going for a call put side. I made a mistake last time, changing it to just puts here. So I always put both of them. So this side I'm entering calls, this I'm entering puts. So here, so I'll go with the yeah, so 55 and 50. And we are going for credit. So I always enter one or two only. So I'll take give it some time to get it 40 and see if we get free. So we were basically waiting for the fill. I was talking on the mute. So yeah, this I was telling like this. So in the morning, they even though they try to move upwards, but eventually they started coming to the same direction as like a time frame, which is the daily one, which is downward candle. See the downward. The downward is basically this side, but this becoming very hard stop this particular gap, and uh, and got to see how much we take from the top once it started move upwards. That's close to. We still not reached 76.25 yet, but yeah, it looks like it is close to 0.382 on the Fibonacci levels. So everybody looks at those numbers, retailers particularly, and then thinking, right, it's going to go up, recover, right? But even those 25 points still makes a lot of difference. This might eventually can come down to even 25 or even 7,600, right? So yeah, this yeah. I don't want to have too many on the chart, so I will go back here. This is 1 hour. And this is 2 minutes. This is 4 minutes. So let's see where our food crate is giving some backup. So it's now it's actually getting better. So I have 20 more minutes before the next meeting. So first half actually works better for the entry and exits. But the second half is very difficult because most likely this actually goes sideways in the second half to eat up all the premiums. Like I said, the move will be super slow, sideways mostly, and towards down. So it looks like the order may not be working because see this one is showing downward And this one is showing sideways. And let's see how the NQ is reacting. It's also sideways. I mean, NQ has a lot of room to go down, so which might still pull the SPX. See, that's not a good sign for the put credits. This is a good sign for all credits. But I don't want to step on its way out. Okay, I think I'll go ahead and cancel at least the one that I have a higher risk. And then this has lower risk, this one has higher risk. Yeah, that's a mistake. I actually not canceling. Fill order. See how fast they decay. They decay like when you're entering, they don't come, but when you're exiting, they just what happened? Did I get filled? Oh yeah, maybe I clicked some button and then went up all the way. Okay, I think I have to give up because this one is not looking good anymore. That's why I don't try to go in the what do you call directional trades. They are very hard to maintain. Cannot even get the female. I have to get it the stronger and then we think it's going up, but there's a zone here. Then they come to that zone, then they get rejected and go down again. Yellow here. So that looks like it's exited. Let's see if I get the fillet. I made a mistake taking 10. Let's see if this one is still giving me back. Yeah, I think. Oh, it's rejected. It might actually be positive to exit. Now it's rejecting again. Okay, let's see how the 1 hour time frame. Let's look at a couple of time frames. Okay, so I mean, there's a possibility that this could be a green here, but I don't know because we are actually so close to the LOD, so it might actually has to see LOD first. If this one breaks, this might actually see this area, but I mean that's very far. See how the weekly started, went downward up towards this candle, which is 100 area. So look at this one. I mean, weekly normally they don't tend to rain up to here maybe. So far it's going upwards. Okay, I think I have to log off, but let's see how this one is doing. I will eventually be exiting this one in a profit. Item is minus, this is minus as well, but yeah, they will work out well towards the close. Otherwise, I will be losing on each contract 20 minus 14 point, no, that one 20 minus 16.40, 54 on 4 contracts. That's still a very less. Right, talk to you guys. Bye now.